Hey, it's me again. Thought I would just do a little video on what I'm doing underneath my travel trailer. If you looked at my previous video, you'll see what I was talking about as far as the underneath being exposed, wires to my tanks and everything. Not to mention the wind drag of all this. So if you don't want salt and debris and twigs hitting your wires, well, I suggest you do this. So what I did was I bought, and I'll put the link in the description, this is called chloroplast, I believe. It is a corrugated plastic. It unrolls fairly nicely. So I bought 40 feet of this for maybe 200 bucks. And I'm going to screw it to the bottom of the trailer. And of course, I'm going to have to cut out around the axles and the shocks, and I'm going to be attaching it with self-tapping screws that I tested right there, and washers to hold it up. So this is just a little bit of before. This will be a short video because I'm not going to go into how to put plastic up and screw it, but I will I'll take a little video of this afterwards and maybe talk about any of the problems I had. Anyway, so some of the things I did. I bought something called wool wax, which is kind of like fluid film. It's a type of undercoating. It's not really like your typical undercoating. It's a film, lanolin based, so it doesn't allow, you won't get water behind it and actually cause rust. So I went ahead and I did all the remaining exposed frame. I did all the jacks. My jacks rusted out within 2.5 years. When I say rusted out, I mean holes. You can see daylight through those. And I didn't even use the camper that much. So all up along the frame, sorry for the bad video, all up along the frame, I did all the jacks. I did all the suspension work down where the tires are and everything. Sorry, that's this video ain't working there. So I did all the suspension work, and it looks really well. Looks really good. I even did up front here underneath the curve. This is the portion where the stones are going to hit when you're towing it, right? And I basically coated all this. I used expanding foam to fill in the cracks where the wires were going underneath. So the underbelly plastic that I put up, I'll put a link to it in the video, but it's called chloroplast. It's this stuff they make politician signs out. Probably the best use for that material ever as compared to politician signs, because that ain't worth crap. So anyway, quite the pain in the butt. I was going to raise this tank. I still might do it, but I'm running out of time. So I actually have another reinforced bar to go across here, much like I did over there. So this will be covering the belly. It's going to keep critters from getting up in there. It's going to keep wind drafts when you're towing it from from pushing the trailer around. Yeah, it's harder than I thought. Just being on my back all that time, 50 years old, ain't as young as I used to be. So yeah, I'll probably post a few pictures of things. I just, like I said, just can't get over. I'm gonna flip the video. So here's this is where the siding comes down, right? So if you look here, here's your siding, and this is the lip, okay? There's supposed to be nails or staples stapling this to the trailer. Yet, I see this guy just used a screw here. This guy used staples, and half the time, this one here was skipped. I have 3 or 4 of them that are that are just missed altogether. I mean, like these two here, look, they're not even doing their job. They didn't even, in other words, the guy was walking by the trailer, wasn't even looking, was reaching under here with his gun and double tapping these, missing the siding, right? This one here, one got the siding, one missed. I think he's just playing the odds. Look at these ones here. They're a good inch away from the siding. So the siding, of course, isn't attached to the trailer here. See? So constantly just poor workmanship and design on a lot of this. So yeah, I seen some other people comment, you know, in the first part of the video that, well, this is your second one, you should have known better to look for these things. Yeah, but that's not just it. I don't know, call me naive, but I would expect for $35,000 that you would get a better quality product. It's just, and the flaws are so abundant that I don't even know if I'd have time to go through a video like of everything. Because like I said, maybe I'm a little OCD. Like I said, I was a QA inspector in the Air Force, and I used to walk around with the tablet and write people up for this stuff, you know, all day long. Yeah, it's a camper, you know, it's not an aircraft, but you know, these are things that I wanted you guys to be aware of when you actually go to, you know, General RV or one of these places, and you're looking at your camper to get one. Scrutinize it, you know, and you'll hear people say, oh yeah, you can actually camp in it overnight at the dealership and all that stuff. Yeah, it doesn't take that. It just takes a little bit of understanding what you're buying. Maybe if you've never camped before, that would be a good idea. But as far as the product you're buying, you know, I would assume that if you're buying a camper that you've camped before, you're not going to go out and spend, you know, 30 grand on something when you've never camped, probably. I have camped. I would have expected some of these things to not be like this. I'll give you another example. I can't even say anybody's to blame for this. I have no idea. Never used this camper. I towed this home from the dealership, parked it in my driveway, right? And when I went to go loosen up the battery to do my spraying around the mounts, guess what? Was chock full of water all the way up to the brim. Yes, the battery container. Don't ask me how it happened. Like I said, I haven't traveled anywhere, but that battery was swimming in water, like with almost all the way up to the connectors. Like, what the hell? That's all I can say. And a real quick scan of something else here real quick. Look. It's peeling up the wallpaper because the only thing attaching it is the RTV. So that's nice. Haven't even taken a shower in this yet and it's already peeling apart. Can't wait. Can't wait. What a colossal piece of garbage. And every day there's something new. Hey, look, it's the radio. Yeah, button don't work, but you know what? It's not the radio because the remote works. That is the power button, ladies and gentlemen. Press, press, press. Hold it down. Nothing. Hold it harder. Nothing. Volume. Nothing. Zones. Nothing. This whole panel's dead. What a piece of garbage. Yeah, sorry about the jumping around, but in summary, after all my rambling, seems like I've done, it's up to you. You know, when you go to buy one of these campers, do your research. Understand that they are built by I'm not saying this in a derogatory sense, but just some dude from, wherever. It's not like when you buy a car and there's quality checks that go through it, and millions of dollars spent on engineering. That's definitely not the case here, so don't expect that. Make sure that when you look at the camper that you're going to pick, each one is going to be in particular, unique. The flaws that I see on some, I don't see on others, and then I see totally new ones on this one, right? So just be prepared to work through whatever it is that you find. To be quite honest, it's not really worth your time to contact the dealer, because if I took us back to the dealer every time I found a piece of trim that fell off, or a great example, and I think I might have talked about this earlier, the radio is already crapped out. I could take it there and get more of the same thing. But if you go into it thinking, you know what, if this stuff does go, and it probably will, little things here and there, fix it yourself. Fix it right. Don't, I wouldn't take it back to the dealer to keep having them fix a piece of trim here and there. They're usually backed up, and it takes, 30 days to get in, then they keep it for a week. Really, all this for something that you probably could have just done yourself. So I don't see the benefit in that. If the air conditioner goes bad, that's a different thing, because you're talking $1,000. So in summary, I would just say, people are going to hate me for saying this, a new camper is just not worth it. I'll say it again. Not worth it. The price you pay, I feel, charge a premium price for an inferior product. Now, having said that, my unit here was about $30,000. They drop like a Cadillac in price when you buy them new. So you could probably get one of these that was a year old, and save 10 grand. I didn't do that simply because I needed to trade in my old unit and couldn't find a buyer right away. It was just too big for what we were doing. So it's just kind of how life, life treats you sometimes. You got to figure out things this way. So having said that, if you guys have any comments or questions actually about a camper you're looking at, or maybe even one similar to mine, if you need thoughts on it, just leave me a message in the comments. I'll be glad to answer it. Honestly, I'm not a salesman. That's obvious.